What's up? It's me, Mr. Bradley, and you're watching Learning Made Fun. If you're anything like me, you probably went through the education system, learning about Roman numerals and pyramids.
Another one of those dang pyramid schemes.
With zero knowledge in handling finances, investing, and probably think that inflation is something to do with a balloon. Well, if you do, you've come to the right place. It's a wing, you're under it. In this STEAM education video series, I aim to educate not only students, but perhaps teachers, parents, and anyone else like myself who would like to know more about finances, investing, cryptocurrencies, and blockchain technologies. In today's video, we're learning all about the central banking system, how it works, and its pros and cons. So as always, stay tuned. What's up guys, it's me Mr. Bradley and today we're learning all about the central banking system. But before I begin, give us a wee cheeky subscribe there. It helps me out to an extent and I would appreciate it. And get ready to do the starter questions on your screen, alright? Now, sorry, I'm supposed to cover up the lens, haven't I? How's that for a transition? Alright, here's the little story. Long ago, before banks, people had to manage their own money. They had to decide by themselves how much something was worth and worried about little old things like theft. And great, you've stolen my shoes. If they needed money, normally had to ask a friend or family for, great, it's Jimmy. Not to mention, trading with different kinds of money was also quite complicated, to say the least. Introducing banks. Yay! Early banks began in Mesopotamia around 2000 BCE. They kept people's valuable things safe, like gold and grain. Wait, what? Grain? They were depositing grain in banks. Well, excuse me while I go make a deposit. Knock off cornflakes! I'm sorry. I am sorry. But the modern banking systems that we use today actually began in medieval Italy in the 11th century. In fact, the word bank actually comes from the Italian word banco, which meant bench. Yes, like an outdoor bench that we sit on, which people used to sit down for a long time to work out money exchanges. Hardly ideal. So now that we know how the banks started and where they come from, what do banks actually do today?
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.
Banks are places that we keep money safe. Sorry. We can also borrow money from the banks when we're buying something big like a house, but of course we will have to pay them back over time. This can be a tad risky for the banks because of course some people can lose their jobs and not be able to pay that money back. So pretty much all banks will ask you to pay back extra money along with the money you borrowed. This is what we call interest. If you store your money in a bank, you normally get paid a little bit extra for doing so. It's kind of like a little mini reward. Emphasis on little. To encourage you to stay with them for longer. This is also called interest, but the interest that the bank pays you is normally a lot less than they'll ask for you to pay if you borrow from them.
Gee, thanks.
Time to learn about the central banks. Commercial banks are where we do the money things. It's pretty much where we will go to withdraw or deposit our money. Pretty much any time you go to a bank, that is a commercial bank. Now, the central banks, on the other hand, are kind of like the bosses of the commercial banks. The central banks manage the commercial banks. The central bank's job is to make sure that the commercial banks are doing their job correctly. They make sure they have enough money to lend businesses and investors by printing more money, but they also need to make sure that they're not lending out too much money, especially to people who are unlikely to be able to pay it back.
Every 2 months, the typical loan officer approves 35 to 40 loans. You have given out 561.
So a little more than average then.
And they also make sure that the prices of things don't go too high, meaning nobody can afford anything. The good things about the central banking system are the central banks help to keep the economy stable by controlling prices and managing in case of emergencies or crises. They also watch over the commercial banks and decide on interest rates to help the economy. But sometimes they make mistakes or are pushed by politicians to do the wrong thing, which hurts the economy and in turn everybody else suffers. They've also been criticised for not always sharing their decisions, making people unsure and lose trust. Some would also say that they tend to help richer or bigger businesses more than those with less money or smaller businesses. We will talk more about the advantages and disadvantages in our next video. Whether you believe in the central banking system or not, you cannot deny that a growing distrust has begun to spread in the world, which is why people have started to seek out alternatives such as cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies remove the need for any central power whatsoever to be in charge, and instead empower individuals like you or me to work together in what is known as a decentralized system, in which instead of one big power or a boss controlling everything, people work together to make sure transactions are okay on a shared system called the blockchain. And so we've come to the end of our video about the banks and the central banking system. If you enjoyed this video, then check out some of the other videos on my channel. As a thank you for all of your support and all of those who have subscribed, we have created free resources for every one of our cryptocurrency videos that you can download at our Teachers Pay Teacher website by accessing this QR code, or if you'd like to go to the exact resource for this exact video, you can access it by clicking the link in the description below. And be sure to keep an eye out for more resources that are going to be posted on our Teachers Pay Teacher website for each and every video that we have made and are going to be making. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, it actually does make a difference. And as always, thanks for watching, see you next time.